Who will be the winner to move on to the semi-finals, and who will be the weakest link? Let's find out. Alright, both players are ready. Let's count them down. Good luck to both players. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And you're both underway. Z piece, L piece, long bar, T piece for both players. Same piece sets have been confirmed. Now it's all a matter of, well, who stacks better, really? With same pieces, you kind of can't really blame RNG since, well, both of them have the same RNG. And we already have some support for Dog. K9, 3 to 1 bits, thank you. Hana is off to a good start. 1 Tetris on the board after 10 lines. Looks like Dog also had Tetris on the board, of which I missed. Number 2 for both players. So they are both just separated, looks like about 2 doubles each. In favour of Hana, but this is the really early game. Looks like both players with stable stacks, both long bars coming at the same time. Both players scoring a Tetris. S flat for Hana, nice T flat burn. Nice adjustment of the T piece to accommodate the J piece. Some good moves. Good moves indeed. Long bar for Dog to get a Tetris, but Hana could not score that Tetris until another long bar came soon afterwards. Very stable game so far from both players. Hana scoring a Tetris at that long bar, Dog not being able to. But is Tetris ready? Both players are now Tetris ready. Long bar for Dog, long bar for Hana. So we can now say that almost at the 40 line mark, that Hana is now enjoying herself a 1 Tetris lead. 173 after 40 lines. 150 for Dog after 40 lines. Stay hydrated, folks. It's really warm where I'm at currently, so keep your fluids in your body. Keep yourself from being dehydrated. Noticing that I've been drinking more quite significantly lately. Really warm nights too. 20 degrees Celsius at midnight. Woof. It's really uncomfortable for me. Anyway, enough of my charades. Let's get back to the game. We're almost at the halfway mark for both players. 64 lines for Hana, 270. 63 lines for Dog, just scoring a Tetris. 269, nice, at the halfway mark. Both players at the same line counts. Hana still enjoying herself the 1 Tetris lead. Why is Dog script so monka? It's a DAS script. What do you mean? Whatever is comfortable. Oh, they both were tied for a moment there, and they're both tied once again. Let's see if my mention of a tie might encourage a few pushdown points, so to speak. Or will they resist the temptation? I don't know. El Grippo. Exactly. Nearly at the 90 line mark for both players. Interesting long bar placement from Dog. Lapping it right in the middle of the stack. Rotated with a TZ dependency at column number 3 and 4. They're not coming, the T piece does come, but turns it into an ST dependency. Another T piece does come to solve that minor predicament. In the meantime, going for row number 2, gets on by Tetris. 100 lines apiece. And they are both very close together in terms of score, and with that double from Hana in terms of pace, they are now neck and neck with each other. The one Tetris lead that Hana's enjoyed from the beginning of the game has all but eliminated. This now potentially will come down to who plays post-transition better. Remember, they are both at same piece sets. Tetris for both players. Swig of a drink by Dog, I imagine. Keep hydrated. What the WTF Dog is playing? Yeah, of course Dog is playing. Probably, maybe, jealous of the fact that Pixelandi is playing again for this year and wants to beat his own brother at his own game. A little bit of a lore. Pixelandi was originally a DAS player, who then switched to tap, who then switched to roll. Dog was never a DAS player. As far as I know, immediately joined as a tapper and then transitioned to a roller. Both players transition. 578 for Dog, 561 for Hana. Pretty close together in terms of pace, though a few burns for Hana means that Dog, after 2 Tetrises at level 19, takes the lead into level 20, 628. Both players' stats are stable. Dog needing to find a burn, does with a J piece awkwardly. Has an awkward level 20 stat, but gets a long bar for a Tetris. Is now able to clean down in a reasonably safe manner. And in the meantime, sticking to the safe strats. Forced into taking a split triple, waiting for his S or a T piece, but double long bars comes instead. 22 for Dog with 669. Tetris for Hana, and the lead is now eliminated. And oops, it looks like the next piece sets for Hana is a little bit scuffed. But we can trust that they are the same pieces, I believe. Long bar comes for Hana. Pure guesswork. And I have to rely on Dog to see what the next pieces will be for level 23, 710. Definitely max out pace. Looks like the next boxes are fixed. Just a few color calibration issues, but visual glitch, nothing to do with the game. 24 for Dog, 741. Tetris for Hana, 735. They are both separated by a mere triple. At level 24, this is a close game indeed. Already at game number 1, it's quite hype, so to say. Tetris for Hana. A little bit of predicament from Dog, having to take a few burns to burn it down. Hana with a double long bar dependency. It was actually a triple bar dependency. He gets 2 of the bars to take a triple. Tetris for Dog, 792 ahead by 2/3 of a Tetris. Takes a T double. Moving something to the left, puts a long bar left. Hana digging a little bit into 26. Now 2 Tetrises behind. 1 Tetris in terms of pace. Nice L piece to set up for a Tetris for Hana. Takes a long bar, takes a Tetris. Dog with a long bar dependency at column number 2. Couldn't do... Put a long bar in there and hangs a long bar at the right hand side. Hangs another long bar. And Hana, through sheer attrition, you have out-survived Dog and take the first game of the first set. GG's. Alright, Hana, congratulations, you have won the first game with a 35-piece drought as well. Oof, not good for the player who wanted to catch up. Both players are ready, so let's go ahead and count them down for game number 2. If you weren't here at the start of the stream, remember this is a sets and games based match. Both players must win 2 sets out of 3 in order to move on to the semi-finals. Each set being a best of 3 games. With Hana taking game number 1, this means that she only needs to win 1 more game to take the first set. Dog will now need to win the remaining 2 games to take the first set. Tetris for both players, off to a perfect start. Who will be the first to flinch to take the burns? Nice adjustment, the yellow piece to combat for the S piece. Both players waiting on the long bar. Hana not tempted for the drought counter, takes a triple, but Dog holds on. Patience is rewarded and takes a Tetris, meaning that Dog will be ahead by a triple. Both players now a little bit high up as another drought counter is forming. Hana's now quite dangerously high. Needs a long bar. Can barely put a J piece to the left. But holding on that high means that Hana suffers an early top out. And from that, the advantage is all but eliminated. Count them down for the third game of the first set. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. I hope I wasn't, oh, okay, good. I hope I wasn't premature. Always good. FB, beta. Nina. 1E66, FB. Ba. Looks like it is same pieces, but I can't really tell very well since there is a little bit of a discrepancy between starting times. Yeah, they are the same pieces. The long bar, O piece, long bar. I had to wait for something that is easily recognizable. But that's fine. Nice S piece for Dog, though still has to deal with a hole in column number 8. Tetris for Hana. They are both equal in terms of pace with each other. Tetris for Dog. We are 1 game all in the first set, which means that whoever wins this game will take the first set. Probably the most important game of the entire set, whether your efforts will be rewarded or wasted. You do not want to be the loser, that's for sure. It could shift the momentum in terms of psychology and, well, just mental basically. Could affect you psychologically, but we will see. 40 line mark for both players, 45 lines, 191 for Dog, 174 for Hana. So a 1 Tetris lead is being enjoyed by Dog so far. A little bit high up, has to take a few awkward burns, but Longbar does come at the right time for a Tetris. Oh, and also I missed a raid by Bolo Enton. Thank you very much. This is CTDAS and the CTM community by vandweller has allowed me to host my second real tournament on the main CTM channel once again for this year. Thank you very much for that. We're at the halfway mark to transition for both players. Quite a strong game by both players as well, 310 each. Could we see a repeat of game number 1 to see who will battle out the post-transition? You are welcome, says Pumpy Heart. Thank you. Nice delayed single by Hana, putting the L piece to the left to set up a hanging burn. Takes a triple, takes a Tetris, and both players suffering the 28 piece drought, but both players get their Tetris when the long bar came. Still separated by just a triple after 90 lines. 70% Tetris rate. Dog's right hand side a little bit higher, but after that T-piece, the long bar comes for a nice Tetris. 100 lines for both players. 440 each. With Hana being 3 lines ahead and a triple ahead. This means that the pace is still 1 triple ahead in favour of Dog. As you can see, being 4 lines behind. Dog a little bit higher, bails out with a triple. Which means that the pace has been eliminated pretty much. Though it looks like Hana also took a triple. Both players taking their safety triples, it seems. 10 lines to transition. Awkward S piece for Hana. Has to set up a L top, but does get the L piece at the right time. Now waiting on J piece or a long bar. Long bar comes. Decides to set up a delayed burn by taking a single with a J piece. S piece comes at a bad time. That J piece also came at a bad time. It can do some clean burning, but this burning is not good in terms of pace. As both players reach transition, 581 for Dog, 523 for Hana. Hana hangs an L piece to the right hand side, needs to pole vault something to the left, puts an L piece there, needs that other L piece, quick taps the L piece to the left hand side. Long bar left, gets another nice quick tap of the long bar on the right hand side. Barely survivable. Now needs L pieces. It's L pieces or death. And unfortunately, it is death. Which means that Dog, congratulations, you have taken the first set. 2-1. Set 2 of game number 1. They are both ready, so let's count them down. All today? Not sure what I mean, but this is just a quarterfinal broadcast. There will be a separate semi-final broadcast that will happen later at the convenience of the players. I don't set the scheduling, the players does. And there will be another stream after the semi-finals, which will be the third place match and the finals broadcast, which will happen even later than that. All games today. Between these two players, yes, it's a best of 3 sets, or best of 3 games. It's around equivalent to a best of 7 match. About. But we have 3 matches for today. This is the first one. Let's take a look at the respective players' boards. Hana off to an unfortunate dig as Dog takes a Tetris, 1 Tetris lead. Hana does take a Tetris to eliminate the lead, but will have to deal the hole at column number 7. Tournament last? No, absolutely not. The tournament started, I don't remember, it was a few months ago already. So what happened was there was a maximum of 64 players that could qualify. For this year, 56, I believe, qualified, which means that every single player got in. For the first 3 rounds, 1, 2, and 3, it was individually restreamed by the community. Thank you very much for that, for everybody who restreamed at least one match. Thank you very much for that. 59. And as for me, my responsibility is, well, the organisation of this tournament and to deal with the quarterfinal broadcasts and from then on forwards. This is not a monthly tournament, this is a yearly tournament. We have a real tournament. For last year there was both a test tournament and a real tournament. It was meant to be as a one-off, but it was the feedback was so positive that I decided, you know what, I'm going to do it again for this year. I might make it into a yearly thing. We will see. Anyway, back to the game. I'm sure the players want to see what's going on in terms of pace between themselves and their opponent. Both of them with quite a suffer game. Looks like this is a terrible seed. Dog setting up for an Adam well. Looks like, nope, just taking the burns. 163 after 71 lines. Hana at the halfway mark. 171 takes a triple, takes a Tetris. 35,000 points in the lead at the same line count, which means that Hana is at a 1.5 Tetris lead. And although both of them are at suffer games, all that matters is what is your score compared to your opponent. That's all it matters. Looks like both players' stacks are now stable in Tetris scoring mode. Dog taking a safety triple. Looks like wavering a little bit in terms of the frequent droughts that has been occurring. Longbar does come after 17 pieces. And looks like Hana will also be getting that same drought. Yep, 17 pieces. Longbar comes. Another drought counter going. 20 pieces now for Dog. Takes a safety triple. Takes another double. 30 pieces, the bar is yet to come. Finally, after 36 pieces, the bar does come. Quite significant potentially for Hana. The bar will not come for another few pieces, and the center well is blocked up just as the bar comes. Opens it up once again. Dog is ahead in the piece sequence. That is something to consider potentially if you are a screen peeker. Both players nearing transition. Dog still get one with Tetris. Hana still with 3 Tetrises left in the tank. And Dog with that Tetris will get to 415 as their transition score. Hana with 1 more Tetris left takes a nice single. Dog with a safety triple at level 19. And Hana gets along but for a Tetris for a 407 transition score. So quite similar to each other. This will go down to who plays post-transition better once again. Same with game number 1 of set number 1. Let's take a look. Alright, so Dog with a Tetris at level 20, 477. Hana opening up the right hand side but is not Tetris ready. Awkward Z piece decides not to put it to the right hand side, and the Dog hangs a long bar to the right hand side. Looks like failed quick tap. Tops out instantly at level 21. Oopsie whoopsie. And Hana just needs to line this out now. This is well within line outable reach. And can do so in about About 40 lines. 40 singles will take this. These are LPs to the left. Does get a triple, which will help reduce the deficit. It's now Tetris ready at column number 9 with a drought counter forming. Decides to bail out a little bit. Decides not to become Tetris ready. Instead takes a triple. Tetris ready once again. Awkward S pieces. Close up the well once again. Opens it up, and this is almost get the long bar or die. A long bar will win the game. Long bar does come. And oh lordy lord. By the barest of margins. Hana will take game number 1. That was definitely a long bar or die moment. Both players are ready. Let's count them down for game number 2. Yes. So a little reminder, for those of you who are just tuned in, this is the CTDAS second reel tournament. We have a sets and games system in matches, best of 3 sets, of which you must win 2 to win the match, of which there are best of 3 games. I don't believe any other Tetris tournament has ever done something like this, except for the fringe exception of Adam's PAL 19 mini tournament that he used to do way back in the day. I believe that's the only tournament that has ever done sets and games. Starting off the game, dog already pretty awkward. And in the meantime, completely clean. Both of them with a drought. All 2 S pieces. Hana's really high up. Second J piece comes the right time. Quick taps. No long bar still after 32 pieces. Hana is ahead in the piece sequence. 38 pieces, still no bar. What the hell is this? 42 pieces it took for the bar to come. Yeesh. Nasty. But both players do survive. Well, it looks like we can finally score some Tetrises instead of playing a game also known as triple, where the bars do not exist and you can only score triples. $40 lines each, both players. 174 for Hana, 45 lines. 136 for Dog. After 43 lines, this is exactly what Hana needs. 1.5 Tetris lead. But this is still the early game. We just have to see how this pans out. If Hana wins the second game, she will win the second set. Force a deciding third set. Dog, on the other hand, needs to win the remaining 2 games in order to win the match. Yes, so the lines in the center of the screen represent DAS limits. You can see that from the exclamation mark. From public art, but allow me to be more elaborate. These are the limits at which you can place the piece to the left hand side with a long bar, assuming you had full DAS. So for the red line, that is 6 high left with full DAS. For the yellow line, that represents an O piece to the left hand side, or a long bar to the right hand side, so, which is 9 high. You can place a long bar 9 high right. The green represents a long bar left, level 18, and blue is either an O piece left or a long bar to the right, which is 12 high. Green is 10 high, yellow is 9 high. You can surpass those limits by quick tapping. You can reach 2 rows higher by quick tapping. However, there's a strict rule where the prior piece movements of the quick tap must be done with DAS. You cannot just tap and then quick tap. prime piece movements must be done with natural DAS, of which he can then do a quick tap for the final movement to bypass the full DAS limit. Back to the game, and it looks like that Hana is enjoying a pretty good game relative to Dog, who, having to do a few burns, has to figure out a way to deal with JPNC. Oh, great, a lovely dirty Tetris setup. Needs to do that. Behind by over 100,000 points. 100,000 points with the same line count, which is about 4.5 Tetrises. 5 Tetrises if it's over 100,000 points. So, looks like Dog will actually... It is no longer good enough for Dog to simply be on par with Hana post-transition. Dog now has to surpass Hana in post-transition, or Hana suffers a top out early into level 19, which can most certainly happen. If I have no DAS and move a piece left, can I quick tap something to go over? Like, yeah, that's perfectly fine. That still absolutely goes in line with the if prior piece movements were done with DAS, because technically you still done your prior piece movements with DAS. Your DAS charge is just starting at 0. Anyway, I have to focus on the game. Both players reach transition, with Dog at 467, Hana at 573. Definitely looking at max out pace, but just taking a bailout triple at level 20. Dog is Tetris ready. Has to put an S piece. Now is long bar or die for Dog. Oh, and just a series of unfortunate pieces plus a drought means that Hana, GG's, after just 2 games, you have won the second set. Both players are ready. Let's count them down. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. There is no Z in the same piece sequence, and besides, I would say it as Z, not Z. Sounds too similar to E. I have finally found an excuse of why I don't say Z. It's because it's too similar to E. Thank you, Aqualota, for giving me that excuse. Anyway, back to the game, and Dog already with quite a spot of bother, I must say. Not fatal, but disastrous in terms of pace, as Hana already taken 3 Tetrises. Remember, this is set number 3, of which each set is a best of 3 games. The first player to get 2 games in this set will move on to the semi-finals. Who will it be? Dog's still digging up 26 lines. Some yikes pieces too. And in the meantime, takes Tetris. Already nearly 100,000 points in the lead, and we're not even at 40 lines. The lead is now over 100,000 points. After 40 lines, Hana, cool, calm, collected, takes a Tetris 190 after 42 lines. Dog still suffering. Hana clean as ever. Dirty Tetris for Dog, finally. I believe that was the first Tetris of the entire game from Dog. And in the meantime scoring another 2 Tetrises. 170,000 points in the lead. This is a perfect opportunity to go no mercy and just crank out those Tetrises. Make it into a 300,000 point lead. Make it into a 400,000 point lead. Just don't care about it. Halfway mark, 108 for Dog. Dog is on pace to get a 200k transition score, which is most certainly world record. And not in a good way. Uh-oh, and Dog needs a bar or it's death. Dog needs a bar or it's death, and unfortunately, the Dog has been put out of his misery and tops out with 112,000 points after 73 lines. Hana, you are good. 242,000 point lead. You take the first game of the set. If you are ready, let's count them down. Dog in Death's Door. Advantage Hana. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. SZS. Oh, Hana already misses a tuck. Great start. Will this be a repeat, potentially, of what Dog had to go through in game number 1? Let's see. Two Tetrises for Dog. Already ahead by 1.5 Tetrises. Hana setting up dirty, center well, but drought counter is forming. Neither player is ahead in the piece sequence, but a long bar does come for Tetris for both players. Tetris for Dog, 20 lines, 94,000. Hana with half that score after 20 lines. Hana going dirty. Row number 4, pretty high. Lomba does come for a Tetris. Takes a triple. Tog. Nice safe board. Lomba. Tetris. Waiting for a T piece or a Z piece. That's mistake with the S piece instead. And another Das mistake with the T piece. Oof. Not what you want to see. Remember, Dog must win this game in order to force a deciding game for the third set. If he loses his game, he will be out of the tournament. Eliminated. The weakest link. $37-piece drought for Dog. 39 pieces and the long bar does come. So Hana will get that bar. And there we go. Long bar comes for Hana for a Tetris. Dog is ahead by 100,000 points. Almost a total opposite to what happened in the first game of the third set. However, Hana is scoring some Tetrises. Unlike Dog, who I believe only scored 1 Tetris before topping out 70 lines. Can he hear you? I'm not sure who you mean. If either of the players have opened up my stream, then they can hear my commentary. $76 lines for Dog, 320, 195 for Hana, over 100,000 point lead. Tetris for both players, exactly what Dog needs. Long ball for Dog, Tetris for Dog. Looks like a little mishap on the T-piece. Can tuck a T-piece in, decides not to do that, sets up a T-spin dependency. $95 lines. 99 lines for Dog after that Tetris. 401. Still over 100,000 points in the lead. Both players stacked stable still. Dog with more Tetrises being slammed down. Hana taking his safety triple. And of a Tetris, and of another Tetris, Dog with another Tetris. This will be Hana's turn to try and catch up during post-transition. And if so, will most certainly deserve the match win. Dog will need to hang on. Both of these players are more than capable of surviving all the way to kill screen. That's why they're in the quarterfinals. Dog nearly at transition. One Tetris to go. O-piece comes at the wrong time. Nice double. Now needs a T-piece. T-piece comes perfectly. On puck comes. Dog transitions with a score of 531. And Hana, now needing a J-piece, puts a Z-piece in there instead. That's fine. Needs to burn out of it. Takes a long buff for a Tetris to transition with 370, 200,000 points, but not 200,000 points behind. Not what you want to see. But Dog cannot be complacent. If he tops out, that's the perfect opportunity for Hana to potentially catch back up and win. The only difference being that this is most certainly not line-outable this time. Can only score just over 100,000 points from 19 to 29 by lining out all the way. So Dog can most certainly play a bit more conservative. Dog making sure he doesn't top out too early at level 19. Hana with a death-defying quick tap. It looks like lost DAS completely. 230 in the lead at level 22. O-piece comes at the wrong time, but nice long bar with some twitchy movements. Very energetic player to say the least. Definitely wants to win this. Oh, those two O-pieces didn't come at a good time, but nice series of burns. Tetris for Hana. Dog bails out with a triple. 190 still in the lead, but is also 10 lines ahead. Could become a factor once we reach the late game. Hana with a slight DAS mishap. Recovers well. Dog, dangerous stack at 24. Survives it. With a series of nice pieces. Hana now having to do a few burns at 24. That will not burn. Hana needs something to the right hand side. The long bar does come. Dog might be going left well. Does so. Is safe for now. But left wells can easily come out of control. Takes a triple. Takes a Tetris at level 26 on the left well. Still 200,000 points ahead in the lead. And this is almost at the territory where it's now no longer surmountable. Dog pretty much needs to score 100,000 more points in order to guarantee this game. But this stack is not looking good. This stack is not looking good for Dog. Takes a Tetris, which could be the deciding factor. Can maybe scrape in a few more lines, but will top out, and this is beatable for Hana, but only barely. Takes a Tetris, needs to score the 3 remaining Tetrises, so 1 burn, has 1 burn of leeway. The long burn must come. Oh, and takes a double. It's no longer surmountable. By taking that double, Hana could not catch up the score. And as such, Dog will win the game, and it is 1-1. Both players are ready. We can do the reset on game number 3. There we go. Alright, let's see. Yep. L, S, T piece. They're at the same pieces. It is confirmed. Alright. The last game of the 3rd set. And they are both underway. Let me just message the next 2 players to make sure that they will be ready. Okay, message sent. Let's have a look at the games. Alrighty, this game will decide who will move on to the semi-finals. There are no more second chances. After the first set, Dog has taken it. Then Hana has taken it. I believe that's right way around. What matters is they are both now at the deciding set. And they have both won 1 game apiece. Which means that this single game will determine the outcome of the entire match. 30 pieces, 30 lines in between them, with Hana taking 1 Tetris advantage so far. Tetris for Dog. Hana should hopefully get that bar soon. Does so, gets Tetris. Another Tetris for Dog. Another Tetris for Hana. 40 lines in, 209 for Hana, 190 for Dog. Both at very reasonable, respectable pace. But as I said earlier, it doesn't really matter what your pace is. The only thing that matters is your pace compared to your opponent's. And a little bit dangerous on the left-hand side, does get the bar. But it was almost, the left-hand side was pretty much inaccessible. But does manage to burn down to safety with a Tetris. Dog in the meantime takes Tetris, nearly at the halfway mark to transition. Does have a hole at column number 2, which means that is unfortunately our best triple. Does take a triple, followed by 2 singles. Which means that Hana is 2 Tetrises in the lead at the halfway mark to transition. 353 at 74 lines. Very respectable game so far. Exactly what you want if you want to show that you are the best player. Or the better player. 399, 80 lines, 400,000 points. Amounts to about 200,000 points every 40 lines, which signifies a very good game indeed. 80% Tetris rate. You might get 1 or 2 of those each session that you play if you're going for PB attempts or such. Depending on your skill, of course. This does not happen every game, let's just say. It can happen every day, but definitely not every game. 100 lines for Dog. Tetris. 493 for Hana, but has to take a triple, which will dampen out the pace a little bit. Plus a series of other burns. Ooh, did not know what to do with the L piece. A small opportunity for Dog to potentially eliminate the lead. Is perfectly clean. Hana is not clean. Definitely not in Tetris scoring mode. The superior player. And still digging. Early dash load on the T-piece. Is nerves becoming a factor? As another early dash load has been committed by Hana. Needs to clean this up. There are no more chances. She must clean this down or otherwise risk elimination. Dog takes a safety triple. Tetris for Dog transitions with 568. Hana looks like must clean in transition, which is definitely not ideal. Take a close look at Hana to see whether the dig will be successful. It looks like it will be successful. It has to waste a full level pretty much in order to clean us down. Dog in the meantime, level 20, 70,000 in the lead. Successful, quicked up the T-piece, very nice. Wah. Lost dash with the S-piece, but manages to tap over long bar 6 high right, which is well within dash limits, so it is perfectly acceptable to tap that. You are allowed to tap up to full dash limit in this tournament in cases that you have lost dash. That limit, I'm pretty sure I'm going to change for next time round. I'm not going to make it full dash. I'm actually going to nerf it to minimum dash. Wah! Nice quick tap on the O piece for Dog. And again, taps the long bar to the right, well within dash limits once again. Hana in the meantime still digging. Or perhaps was clean, as the lead hasn't increased, but this is not what you want to see. Quick tap for the L piece from Dog. Quick tap master. Singular T-piece Tetris. 753 at level 23. Definitely respectable pace. 150,000 in the lead. Nice long bar for Hana to fit in dependency. Is clean now. But as with game number 2, Dog did top out in the late game of post-transition, allowing a small opportunity to Hana for Hana to potentially capitalise. Was not able to do so. Had to pretty much play perfect. Had only one line to burn from late level 27. Tetris with Dog, 153 in the lead. Hana can still get, I believe, just over 300,000 points is the remaining amount of potential score left available to her, assuming playing perfect. Tetris for Hana. It's about 260 from the beginning of level 26, I believe, or 275 around, which is the maximum amount of points you can get without the kill screen Tetris, of course. If you do score the kill screen Tetris, it's 300,000. And once again, Dog in a bit of a dig at level 27. Could this be the opportunity that Hana is waiting for? Dog takes a double. Trying to scrape a few more lines. Level 28. And Dog tops out. And once again, Hana's on the Chasedown. This time has 3 lines to burn. Tetris. 3 lines is enough. Now it's Tetris ready and the Tetris comes. And Hana, this time round, you have successfully chased down Dog's score. And you will take game number 3 of the first set, meaning that you have defeated Dog playing Tetris. And will move on to the semi-finals. GG's. We have Pixel Andy, who managed to win against Sharky in round number 3 just a little bit ago. And now we have him facing off against Bendy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final final match of the second real tournament. We have Bendy versus Andy. Winner will be moving on to the semi-finals, while the loser will be the weakest link and get booted out of the tournament. Bendy already looking for a T-piece, fill in a T dependency. However, has to bail out of it, while Andy immediately scores a Tetris. While I do a little bit of an adjustment on Bendy's camp to make sure it's all set and good. There we go, that should be good enough. Oops. That's good enough. Alright, back to the game. Andy enjoying a nice start. 120,000 points. With Bendy's scoring a Tetris 109 after 30 lines. Hmm. "40 lines in for both players, 190. Bendy, Tetris ready, just waiting on the bar. It looks like a drought will be forming. 24 pieces now for Andy, and after 25 pieces, the bar does come, and the Bendy will receive the same. Nice adjustment to perfectly accommodate the J piece. Bailout triple, Tetris. Both player stacks perfectly clean. We're almost at the halfway mark already. Another drought forming for Andy. Ooh, left hand side, bit bothersome, but long bar does come. Tetris, another bar does come. Andy will score 2 Tetrises. Bendy, meantime, not able to utilize the second bar for a Tetris. Andy will be 1.5 Tetrises in the lead as another drought counter is forming. 26 now. Andy's board game dangerous. Able to take a bailout triple, but cannot burn as that conflicts with a hole at column number 1. Bendy will get the same drought. His stack also looking a little bit bothersome. Long bar does come for Bendy, and he's able to score a Tetris. Both players now need to dig out of their respective situations. Alright, 100 lines in, 365 for Andy. 5 lines behind is Bendy, at 40,000 points behind, gets Tetris. So Bendy will be about 1 Tetris behind in terms of pace. Bendy now 10 lines ahead of the piece sequence. Was 10 lines ahead until that Tetris by Bendy. Looks like it's more accurately, it looks like Andy will be 5 lines ahead in the piece sequence. Tetris for Andy, nearing transition, can get 2 more Tetrises. Tetris ready. Tetris Bendy, and Andy, another long bar drought forming. Right at transition too. Decides to not burn down all the way. Can be dangerous if the bar doesn't come. Forced to take a double. Wow, that was an 11 high quick tapper with the O piece by Andy on the left hand side. I'm pretty sure that was 11 high. And Bendy will be getting that same drought. Longbar does come with a better time. 2 Tetrises for Bendy. And Bendy is, again, almost a full level behind. And in terms of score, early Dasso than the S piece, unfortunately, would be advantageous in terms of pace until that mistake occurred. As Andy's completely clean now, 584 into 22. Bendy now needing to dig out of this, which will eat into his pace. Another Tetris for Andy. Nice quick tap the S piece from Andy. Long bar Tetris. Bendy having to take a double, 540 into 22. Andy on the roll right now. Taking good burns, taking those Tetrises. Another Tetris for Andy, 704 into 24, that's max out pace. Just about. Actually, not just about, that is what you're looking for, basically. Adamwell, Tetris from Andy. As Bendy now going row 2 at level 24, gets along by just in the nick of time. Gets another Tetris, 25 now. This match is still on, by the way. Either player can still win as Bendy is slamming down those Tetrises now. We'll have to wait and see. That was an 8 high quick tap from Bendy, very nice. As Andy, only 1 Tetris in the lead and is almost a full level ahead in terms of lines, and Bendy, unfortunately, really high up, can still access the left just about. Yep, good move. Now needs an L piece. Wow, the L piece literally came in the nick of time. Next box deceiving us in terms of what piece there actually was in there. Both players now scrambling for the last points. Bendy the triple. Andy ideally wants to score a Tetris. Bendy's in the lead. Andy must score this final Tetris. Andy does score the final Tetris, so Bendy takes it right back with another Tetris, saying no. You shall not. And we'll take this game. GG's. 983 versus 937. Whoa. Alright, both players are ready. Let's count them down. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Alright, they're underway. Tetris number 1 for Bendy, Tetris number 2 for Bendy. Well, Andy currently right now is playing perfect. Andy going for centre well, but how's that with a double? Bendy in a little bit of a spot of bother now. Oh, he's seriously in a spot of bother. Bendy needs a long bar, it's death. It's long bar or death. Drought. 28p drought. Killed him. And just like that, Andy. The advantage is gone. You have taken the second game. It's 1-1. Game number 3 of set number 1. Three, 2, 1. Tetris. Double S and an eyepiece. Same pieces are confirmed. Game is live. Excuse me, I have heard my burpees. Bendy is already quite high up. Decides to do some bailout to survive. Okay, takes a nice double VO piece and will. Oh, okay, refuses to take the triple. Interesting. Perhaps waiting for either 2 J's. Now needs another J to. Okay, that will do. Bendy is now Tetris ready. Meantime, Andy already slamming down some Tetrises. And Tetris for Andy. Another Tetris for Andy. So he'll already be at a significant advantage for this game. In addition to Bendy being ahead in the P sequence, both players taking a triple as the drought counter was forming. Both players get their Tetris with their respective long bars. Andy opening up a long bar dependency on the left hand side of the stack. It is not Tetris well. Clears it, opens up the right hand side, yes, timely long bar. For Tetris, both players nearing 50 lines, Bendy with 182 at 51 lines, Andy with 220 at 50 lines. Nice adjustment with the T piece to accommodate the long bar. Tetris ready, long bar. Ooh, and Andy misflips an S piece on the left hand side of his stack. Does get a Tetris, but we'll have to spend a few lines to burn out of that mistake. 292 at the halfway mark, 273 from Bendy at the halfway mark. And he fixes it with a column 2 Tetris. $80 lines each for both players. Looks like Andy having just under a Tetris lead in terms of pace. Takes a safety triple. 19 pieces of a drought, mini drought, for the Tetris to come. And Andy will remain to be in the lead. Losing my words. Nice tuck for the O piece. Tetris. Both players actually with pretty solid games. 600k transition still on the cards, both of them. Whether the long bars will cooperate. Simultaneous Tetris for both players. Both scores equal, with Andy being just slightly behind in terms of the line count. 10 lines to transition. Bendy having to do a few awkward placements. Does not want to be in this situation right before transition. Some unfortunate pieces. Now these JPs. JPs comes perfectly for a triple. And Bendy will single into transition with a score of 446. And Andy's one line away. Will do so with the Tetris to score 607. So Andy will be the one to have a 600k transition. Let's see what happens post 19. Both players stacking well. No immediate mishaps. Tetris for both players. Bendy Tetris ready. Left hand side now inaccessible without a quick tap. Does get the quick tap. Taps a long bar to the right due to lost DAS. Another one comes. And Andy now having to do a few burnt lines. Still clean. Bendy in the meantime always going aggressive with a column 7. Perfect pieces come, but the line drought counter is still continuing. Now has a series of tucks that Bendy must perform. Will survive this, but it's not looking good for pace wise. Oh, Bendy now needs a 7 high, hits the 7 high. Save versus death, successful. Needs another one, another save versus death, successful. Bendy decides not to go with a left well, a dirty left well too. And Andy starting to run away a little bit with this game. 800,000 at level 24. Bendy only at 730, he's ready at level 25. So Bendy will pretty much have to be quite efficient for the remainder of the game. whilst Andy, mediocre finish will be enough, so long as it reaches the kill screen. Bendy must find a way to clean out of this quickly. Another quick tap on the left, death-defying. Tetris ready. Decent L piece. 2 long bars come. Oh wait, no, that wasn't a long bar. That was an L piece. The next one's deceived me. We won't be able to see much on Andy's end due to visual glitches, but it looks like Andy topped out. Oof, Andy topped out. That's exactly what Bendy needed. I don't know exactly what happened, whether it was a stacking error or what. But by surviving it, Bendy, you take the third game, and you'll take the first set of the match. Alright, both players are ready. Game number 1 of the second set is now the counting. Thou shalt count down from 3, nor 4. Thou shalt count down from 3, 2, 1, receding, but not 4. 5 is right out. Catches from both players. Number 2 for Andy. Number 2 for Bendy. 3 for Andy. Bendy having to take a single. Takes a Tetris. Number 4 for Andy. And Andy will too have to take a single. Followed by a double as a line drought counter is forming, with Andy being slightly ahead in the piece sequence. 25 pieces still going. Both players quite high up. Bomba finally does come after 29 pieces. And looks like Trace Vector has ended. We'll have to do this now. I believe this would be the right one. Yeah, that's the right one. Crazy how Jim Seed knew Bendy's set of centre that gave a big drought. True. The game knows. The game always knows. Pixel Andy's off to a really solid start. 90% Tetris rate. Another drought forming. Takes a safety triple. Still no bar. Bar does finally come after 24 lines, of which Andy cannot capitalize. But another bar does come. Looks like the same goes with Bendy, cannot capitalize on the bar. Excuse me. $80 lines each, nearly. 85 lines for Andy. 386 decides to fill in the pen scene, still going for Tetris. Bendy in the meantime. Quite a bit behind in the piece sequence. So, despite being 30,000 points behind in terms of your score, in terms of pace, it's actually Actually looking like Bendy with the slight pace advantage, especially with the burn sequence that Andy has to go through. Another way to tell is through the Tetris rate. Bendy with a 78% Tetris rate, Andy 10% lower, and Andy's now in serious trouble. Andy needs a bar of death. It is death. Bendy, you're only one game away from taking the match. Count them down. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Like a shot every time Scamper says it is bar or death, and it is death, and it would be death for me. Oof. You'll also have to put in a little bit of a spot of bother to the drinking contest as well. Speaking of which, Andy is in a little bit of a spot of bother. Okay, nice adjustment to accommodate the J piece. Takes a Tetris and nice 2 singles, and Andy is perfectly safe once again. No, semis onwards will be best of 5 of best of 3. In the test tournament it was best of 3 of best of 5, but with feedback it was decided that it probably be better if it was instead best of 5 or best of 3. So that is what we will do for the real tournament. Just a small reminder that Andy must win 2 games in order to just win this set. Bendy, in the meantime, merely just has to win 1 more game and he will take the match. Andy with a spy in the centre of the stack decides to opt to do some tapping instead to minimise the risk of hanging or seriously slippy DAS control from Andy, but it does work out in the end. Andy almost 10 lines ahead in the piece sequence, with only 10,000 points in the lead. Now it's 10 lines ahead and Andy's ahead by 32,000. In terms of pace, it's more like a big fat 0 in the lead. 63% Tetris rate for Andy, 73 for Bendy, but a drought counter is now forming. Andy forced to burn down. Andy does manage to survive at a loss of efficiency, now only down to 52%. Bendy will have the same drought sequence. Let's see how he will handle it, and Longbar does come. But Tetris only has to take a mere double. 87 lines for Andy, 313. Bendy, the same score, at 13 lines behind. So Bendy now definitively ahead in terms of pace, in the lead and 10 lines behind. Threatening to take match point. Another drought counter for Andy. Getting a little bit high up, refusing to take a triple out of 30 pieces. Longbar does come. 100 lines, 366. Bendy's not even. 90 lines has already surpassed that. Bendy could potentially become the sleeper player. Nobody expected him to be this far in the tournament, and could go further still. performance continues like this. Another dig. Bendy does open up and is now on back onto a Tetris. Over 10 lines ahead in the piece sequence. I think Andy's tried to push down, try and put the pressure on Bendy. Be ahead, even if you're also ahead in lines. Make them win instead of a different way of doing it. Andy would take a single into transition, score of 466. Takes a Tetris. Bendy needs the bar to the left hand side. As Andy plays a little bit aggressive, but has to take a triple with an L piece. Other drought counter forming. Also take a double. 22 pieces. That's information for Bendy. That means Bendy knows a drought will be coming between level 19 and 20. Once Andy scores a Tetris, Bendy will score a Tetris. Almost full 2 levels behind. Oh, and Andy misses an 8-high quick tap to the left. Now he needs another 8-high, and that, as they say, is that Andy had to do a saving throw versus Death, and this time failed. Both of them. It was save versus Death, and the result was Death. Bendy, you have taken the second set 2-0. And that means that you'll move on to the semi-finals. Congratulations. It only took 2 sets. Only took 2 sets for you to take it. Feel free to play this out if you want to. You're at max out pace actually. So if you want to rub it in, you're allowed to do that. There are no more matches set for the remainder of this stream, so let's see what you can do. He's a happy boy. I told you not to sleep on Bendy. Yep. Absolutely right. 750 at 24, that's solid max out pace. Tenuous 1.1 pace too, possibly. Really playing well. Fuses a triple. Really good stacking. Yeah, perfect. Now 26, the next pieces is a little bit scuffed, so we'll have to react as they come. A little bit high up long buck comes at a good time. Not when you want a drought counter to form. Need something to the left. Nice quick tap. Maxes. Still get one more Tetris. L piece. Yep. Needs something. Yep. No, just waiting on the bar. Finish it off. Where's the bar? Where's the bar? There's a drought counter. There's always a drought at level 28. Whatever. The max out has been scored. There would have been a bar at 23 lines, but I think that would have been too late. GG's Bendy. You have won the match against Pixel Andy and finished it off with a max out. All the way to the finish line.
Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.